Year 2023, month of April. This is a short video with a single slide. I have a few comments, this is not numbers news, about recent events in regards to artificial intelligence and the future of making information systems. The last few years, a lot of big events have come back to back, and we can now speak of post-coronavirus, post-war in Ukraine, and now post some major points in artificial intelligence with the language and image AIs getting really good, to the point that they've created new genres of art, new genres of computer use, something that we haven't seen, I'd argue, since maybe the cryptocurrencies got started, but that's still evolving. But yeah, these have been real developments. I said earlier in the history of this channel that computers and software are actually replacements of books, not necessarily people. Stephen Wolfram, the creator of Mathematica and the Wolfram language, mentioned in his Orange book about the Wolfram language that if he were to actually write a book documenting every function in Mathematica, it'd be 50,000 pages. And so he had to give you a short book that explains the basics of the language, but then teaches you how to learn more so you can learn as you go. Any major programming language is also like that. We publish a lot of books in this business, and I have mentioned before that I think books are still important. And we've known for decades now, developers are expected to kind of get on the internet and start writing, searching for whatever it is they need. Like, how do I connect this database or do whatever in this language and framework? And so we can see with the language AIs that have emerged into fairly robust forms in the last few months that they are the next stage of how we collate information. And they are an extension, naturally, of internet search engines. They help us find information. And for those who write programs, they are just yet another reference manual. So one day at work, I wanted to know, hey, how do I connect a Mongo database in C#? And I prompted for it in a language model AI. It produced some code, and I looked at it and said, yeah, that looks about right. I reasoned about it in that way. We can't, believe everything that is linguistically produced. We do need to, think with proper epistemology and with programming that's easier to do, since we have a fairly, robotic way of interpreting a string of text. Reducible way, I should say. And I could see that it worked. I could experiment. I could, subject it to falsifiability. I could write a test for it. So I don't think this is going to replace programmers. We do seem to have a bit of a a wave of layoffs going on, but I think that's kind of a California thing. We'll just have to kind of wait and see what happens here. But I think really helps. This is the next evolution of books and the next evolution of collating information. Because that is what computers and the internet, as I've said before, really evolved to be for serious things. Okay, they can also uh, be made into unhealthy addictions. But I am looking forward to seeing how we can be more productive and how we can create knowledge, accumulate it, and then sift through it. Because we're generating so much knowledge that it's hard to write down. We've noticed this for a while, even in just academia. You have research papers with hundreds of authors, and it looks as though humans are kind of part of a giant neural network in our social interactions as well. That does make sense. That bodies of information emerge from these social networks. I might have more to say about that later. But for now, that's all I wanted to say. Post coronavirus, post war in Ukraine, post AI advancements, some all of this is an example of how we are writing larger virtual books and searching through them. It kind of makes you value regular books that are about the human experience and not some kind of temporary piece of knowledge such as the Windows 95 registry that I'm looking at here on my shelf. Thank you.